Hey YouTube, it's me Sheila, and today I am here to cook another recipe in my Instant Pot. Today I'll be cooking some Haitian Bouillon. If you are not used to the island culture, especially the Haitian culture, you may not know what I'm talking about. But Haitian Bouillon is a soup that we cook in our culture. It's similar to the way you would cook chicken soup, but it's different. It involves more vegetables. So I'll be cooking that. To get started, I have my Instant Pot, or whatever brand it is. They all do the same thing. I have that here. So the first thing I am going to do is stir brown my my beef. So in here I have seasoned beef, which is regular boneless chopped stew beef, and also the beef that has the bone, which is known as soup beef. So I have that in here. It's marinating. It has been marinating for about a couple hours now. So I'm getting ready to add that in here, and I will show you guys the whole process of me cooking Haitian Bouillon. This is my first time actually doing it in the Instant Pot, so that's why I wanted to record it. Did it on the stove before, so I'm doing it in here to see how it turns out. Okay, so to get started, this is the brand that I'm working with. I first going to select the menu, and then I am going to number 9. So you just, and then once I'm at number 9, I press on start. So it would take 30 minutes to brown stir. Here's my meat. So I'm going to take the meat out and just add them in here. I'm also going to add a little bit of oil in here, but I just want to add this. You can hear it starting to sizzle. Okay. I have some remaining juice in the bag. I'm just going to pour that in here to get all the season up in there. And I'm just going to give it a good little stir. Make sure everything is in. All right, so I'm just going to allow this to brown up. I won't let it do the complete 30 minutes. I'll keep it in here for 15 minutes, and then from 15 minutes, then I'll pressure cook it so it can cook. And then from there, I'll start with my other ingredients, and I'll show you guys how I do that also. All right, so we are now at 15 minutes. I decide to allow it to continue cooking for the next 15 minutes. And this is how it's looking. It's starting to look good. So what I'm going to do now is add some tomato paste into it. Okay, I'm adding just a little bit of tomato paste. And I'm going to stir this in. I'm adding tomato paste so my soup can have some color. So I'm going to allow this to cook for the next 15 minutes, and then I'll show you guys the next step. All right, so my beef is done browning and stir. So what I'm going to do next is add 2 cups of water into the pot, and then I am going to put it on meat to pressure cook. Okay, so I added 2 cups of water. Okay, 2 cups of water. And now let's switch the setting. Go to menu, and we're going to put it on number 5, which is steak and meat. Okay, press start to preheat it. And then we are going to put the lid. Okay, it's locked. It made the sound. And then let's trap the steam. Okay, so we're going to allow this to cook for 30 minutes. All right, so the meat is done cooking. So now I am going to release, whoop, the wrong way. Let's release this. Once the red thing right there go down, that means the steam has completely released. Smells good. All right, so it is ready. Open this up. Oh, look at this. Steaming. Let's see if I can show you guys this. Look at this meat. I'm just going to give it a taste to make sure it's nice and tender before I add all my other ingredients to continue with the soup. All right, so I'm back to show you guys the ingredients that I will be putting into my soup. As you can see, I have baby carrots, celery, red pepper. Over here, I have all my vegetables, which is starting to change color. When you peel them, they start to change color. So here's my yam right here. And then I have malanga, the purple shade one. And I have sweet potatoes right here. And then, put this one right here. And then I'll be using some thyme. And I have spinach, which I will be adding into my soup. Also dumpling. All I have to do is roll up my dumplings. So this will be dumplings that I'll be also adding to the soup. And here is the meat. The meat is nicely cooked. I am going to add some water in here and then add all my ingredients. Again, I am cooking this in crock pot, instant cooker, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, this is my first time cooking bouillon in here. Okay, so I am going to go to number 2, which is the soup. So I'm going to click on stop and then go to menu and then go to number, camera's not focusing, number 2, click start to get it prepared. And then I'm going to add 4 cups of water in here. And then I will add another 4 cups. This is another 4 cups of water. Can you pass me the black spoon, please? Get the black spoon right there. Thank you. All right, let me give this a stir to make sure it's enough water. Okay, so I'm going to add another 2 cups of water in here. Okay, so this is another 2 cups of water. I just added to create the broth for the soup. So the next thing I'm going to do is season the broth, and then I'm going to add all my veggies to allow them to cook. All right, so this is how my broth is looking. Now I am getting ready to add all my ingredients in. The first thing I'm going to do is add my garlic. This is my garlic. I already pre-smashed it with my garlic squeezer. So I'm going to add 3 of them in here. I have half of onions that I will be adding in here. I'm not making a lot of soup, so I don't need that much ingredients. And then I'm going to add my bowl of mixture of red pepper. I'm forgetting what in here now. I can't speak. Red peppers. What is this? Oh, and carrots. So add that in here. This is still preheating, getting ready for the soup. So I just added those ingredients in there. And then I'm going to add some cloves, which we call jiwof in our country. So I'm going to add a couple of that in there. Not too much because I hate them. So I'm going to add a couple in there, about 3 or 4. Add that in my soup. My soup is actually looking very good. And then I'm going to season this up with some salt, black pepper, and some chicken flavored season. Okay, so in there I am going to add some black pepper. Not too much, but we're adding black pepper. And then I'm going to add salt. I add 1 teaspoon of salt. You always want to flavor to your liking. And this is my chicken flavor season. I typically like to add half of the lid to start with. And then we're going to give this a stir. And then kind of give it a taste to make sure it's to your liking. And then after that, we are going to add the other ingredients in to allow this to cook. My little helper is in here. This is what he's doing, making a mess. This is the brand that I use. I don't use the other one. I want something more natural with less ingredients. So I wanted to keep it natural if you guys want to try that brand. I'm adding a little bit more season in here to give it more flavor. So I'm going to give it a taste to make sure it's to my liking. Here is my dumpling after I rolled everything up. Next thing I'm going to do is add my vegetables in. Okay, so I am going to add thyme, and then I'm going to add parsley. I'm multitasking. What's wrong, baby? Why are you crying back there? You want the people to hear you? Okay, I add some parsley. Okay, so it's time to add the vegetables to give them enough time to cook. Add them in there. I'm not adding plantains to mine. I don't like plantains. You can add whatever you like to your soup. The last thing I'll be adding in here is, well, the last two things I'll be adding in here is my spinach and dumplings. So yeah, I have a 6-quart pressure cooker, and it makes a lot. It feeds 6 people, so it's a decent size for me. But anywho, so I'm just going to allow this to, continue the process. And then I'm going to add my spinach last because spinach cooks fast. And this is how it's looking very nice. All right, I just added the dumplings in, as you can see. There. Yeah. Okay. You wanted to eat it to yourself? It's time to add the spinach. I'm adding half of the bag just because I don't know how much can fit in here. But we all know spinach shrinks. So I think I'm just gonna stick to half of the bag. I think I'm gonna stick to half of the bag. Well, it's kind of more than half of the bag, but well, I guess I'll just add the rest because once spinach cook is like nothing. Final outcome. It's looking good. All right, so I'm gonna get ready to share this out in a bowl.